this term in technology, I undertook the challenge of designing and building a clock.
My first thought was, how the heck are we going to do that? So we had made a scorpion, a key tag, a phone stand,
A coaster. It was like, because we've made these small projects, like a clock would be a bit harder.
So we started with the design folio and we brought together all of our ideas on how we would go about making a clock and what it might look like.
I started feeling more confident when we learnt about gears and motors, and we used an interactive website of how gears worked, and we also used the Lego Mindstorms to create gears and visualize it in real life.
We also did the On Guard online safety training, which allowed us to learn all about the safety procedures in the workshop. When Sir showed us some old designs of past students who were successful in making their clocks, it seemed a little bit easier than we all sort of first thought.
In the workshop, there's everything you would need to undergo your challenge, so it's a good place and it's safe and it's fun to be in.
I felt confident because we were shown how to use all of the tools.
We barely knew how to use any of the tools in this room, but Sir helped us, and now we know how to use the magna bend and the pedestal drill.
So to make the stand, I had to use a variety of tools, one of them being the magna bend, which I used to bend the sheet metal into the right angle.
First we had to mark out the centre, then we got our centre punch and we hammered a hole into the middle, which is where we're going to drill. And that was really helpful because Sir guided me with that a lot, which was great.
So then we made our acrylic clock face, and it's probably the best part of the clock because it's the main part where you can personalize it to what you want it to be, and it's unique to everyone else's in the class. I used the Fusion 3D drawing program on my computer to design my clock face, and then used the 3D printer to make it real. I then also used the laser cutter to cut in a personalized image on a piece of acrylic so I could put that into the clock face, and it was really fun watching the laser printing into the acrylic. With the files, because the sheet metal has very sharp corners and we don't want that on a clock design, so we use the files to file it down so it's round and it looks better and it's not as dangerous.
The filing definitely takes the longest, but you know it's worth it when you get the finished product and you know how much hard work you put into it.
And we had to help each other because if you're gonna do a project like this, you kind of got to help each other, especially when she takes forever filing.
I guess it did.
So the motor was the last part of the clock, with the stand and the acrylic and the motor. And when we put everything together, it was probably the most satisfying part because you could see everything going together and working as a clock.
So we applied what we learnt and we put together the motor and the clock face, and we put the brass ring and the hands together to create the clock. It was really good to see what we learned a couple of weeks ago and put it into an actual project about mechanisms.
So the whole thing was very satisfying. I finally got to turn my design into a fully working solution, and I learnt a lot in the process.
I'm really proud because I set out to solve a problem and I did it. I followed the process.
And now we've all got skills that we could possibly use in the future.
Yeah, definitely. And now I have these. I'm giving mine to my dad.
And I'm giving mine for myself.